Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of my bottom surgery video. I was originally gonna put part 1 and part 2 together, but I didn't want to put my viewers through a 20-minute ramble, so I decided to break it up. As I was saying in my other video, my hysterectomy in December of 2018 was my second surgery that year. I didn't really tell a lot of people that I was having that specific surgery. Yeah, I did tell them that I was gonna be going through an operation, but I didn't want to get into details for 3 reasons. 1, people would have been like, what is that? 2, people would have been like, oh, isn't that for women? 3, I would just be putting myself out there, and I don't think that's really what I was trying to do in that time period, just because of everything that was going on. I just really didn't have time to tell my story to so many different people. So the kind of surgery that I had was a full laparoscopic hysterectomy. They take out everything. They make 2 slits in the lower abdomen. I was feeling pretty good in recovery for about 3 weeks, and then New Year's hit. The day after New Year's, I just started leaking like a faucet, just blood everywhere. I was actually really scared. That was probably the most that I've ever bled in my entire life. Being out in my old university, there weren't really a lot of hospitals or like options for care. I had to drive around 20 to 30 minutes to the nearest hospital in another town. They didn't really know what was going on. I felt weird since it was a hysterectomy and I'm here presenting as a man. It was very interesting the way that all went. I eventually got in contact with my original doctor and they told me to come back to the hospital where I had surgery. I met my dad's mom at her house and we ended up going together. It had to be like 9 or 10. It ended up being a torn suture. I don't know if that was their fault or my fault or just happened by chance. I'm not really sure. They needed to sew me up. So they needed to go in there, and you guys know what I'm talking about. So I'm in the emergency room and the nurses are trying to do it themselves. There was no luck with that. They ended up calling in a real surgeon and he was in there with like no medical clothes on trying to operate on me, and I'm like, sir, like, did you wash your hands? They ended up almost booking an OR because I just was not really feeling the whole sew me up thing. It's physically, not mentally. Like mentally I was putting myself through it and subjecting myself to it, but I guess physically I wasn't still enough for them. But if I were to go in the OR that night, I wouldn't have gotten there till like 4 a.m. So I was like, no, you guys are gonna have to do this right now. I'm just like in the emergency room, just groaning and everything. I know people can hear me over in the next room. It ended up being successful. They were able to do it, but I felt like the whole time that they were just like taking my manhood. I felt like there was a lot of times, I mean, even still right now, there are a lot of times where I'm always complaining about everything that I go through as a trans person, like if I was born cis, that would have been an experience that I would never have to experience. That really goes like all across the board when it comes to like filing paperwork, changing names, dating, just everything. I was able to heal normally after that. I didn't really have any future problems. The summer after all that happened, the summer of 2019, I started filling out paperwork to have bottom surgery. For bottom surgery, you have to go to a specialist. So the doctor that I chose was Dr. Chen. I paid the consultation fee, which was $250. I set up a phone interview because he's in San Francisco. Me and Dr. Chen had a phone consult last December 2019. He told me that I need to do 3 things before we are able to set a date for surgery. The first thing that I need to do is to stop smoking. For top surgery, I was smoking a few days before and like a week after. Bottom surgery can be so complicated, so I really want to put myself out of risk and really just abide by the rules. So when it comes time for me to quit smoking, I know that I'll be able to do that because this is something that I really want and it's gonna really improve my life and eliminate so much dysphoria and really just make me an overall happier person. The second thing that I need to decide is whether I want to use my arm or my leg. I think I've already decided that I want to use my arm. The difference in that is the leg is harder for surgeons to use just because of the nerve endings, and if one leg doesn't have good nerves, then they're gonna have to put that skin back on top and go from the other leg, and you know, that might still not even work. Like I said, I want to put myself out of risk, so I think I'm going to do the arm. The only thing that I'm worried about with the arm is the scarring. So the scar is going to go from the top of my wrist all the way down. I don't know, that's just something that I'm gonna have to deal with when it comes. I am mentally preparing for that, and I know I'm gonna have the surgery no matter what, but it is also scary to think that, you know, I will lose all my arm skin and still may not have a functioning phallus. If I'm gonna have this scar, I wanna make sure that the results are what I want. I think that the arm does provide everything that I'm looking for, sensation-wise, size-wise. Yes, you are able to pick your size, by the way. At least with my doctor. I know a lot of doctors don't do that, but my doctor did ask me how big I wanted it. The third thing that I need to settle, which is my biggest problem right now, and I probably would have been on my way to scheduling the surgery if this wasn't such a huge factor, is insurance. Right now, I have an insurance that really pays for everything. The 2 surgeries that I've had, I didn't pay for. I don't pay for my hormones currently. Compared to the average person, I see a lot of doctors. I'm not even gonna say doctors, I'm gonna say medical professionals. I see a counselor, a gender psychiatrist, an endocrinologist, not to mention a primary dentist, optics, just a whole bunch of stuff. I would not be able to see those providers if I didn't have the right insurance. I called a bunch of different California insurances, and they told me that I would need to register when it's time, first of all, and I would need to have that for a certain period of time. Now, if I have a California insurance, I'm not gonna be able to see the doctors that I already see right now. I just really can't imagine, as a student who really doesn't have a steady income, to be paying out of pocket for health insurance, out of pocket for co-pays, medication. I'm definitely wanting to wait for my surgery until after I'm already out of school. So that's pretty much where I am right now in the whole process. Definitely on my way. Hopefully in another year, me and Dr. Chen will be able to have that conversation again. He did want me to come for a second in-person consult, so I think I'll probably do that second in person after my graduation next May. If you have any questions, as always, you can drop them below. For this topic specifically, I really encourage you, if you are a trans person looking to have any type of surgery that I mentioned, to research. You can research online, you can research on YouTube. I did a lot of my research on YouTube just because there's so much more information that you can obtain through hearing someone rather than reading an article, especially when it comes to personal experiences. There are a lot of other trans guys who have also went through this process and have gone further down the line in this process, so it'd be really beneficial to check out their videos as well. I'll be doing a new video, new topic next week, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.